Minister, how many hectares of native vegetation are designated to be cleared to develop the 60 renewable energy projects you announced in question time yesterday?
I want to say that it's obvious that it depends on the renewable energy project itself, how much vegetation would have to be cleared. In some cases, very little vegetation will be cleared. If we're talking about, well, it depends on the project. There's 60 of them right across the country. But I can understand why the Nationals are so sensitive about this, because while they were in government, there were 22 separate energy policies. They didn't land a single one of them.
Mr. Speaker, that was a very tight question. I seek your ruling. There was a very specific question about the number of hectares on the announcement made yesterday. There was no compare and contrast. It was a very tight question. I seek your ruling, Mr. Speaker.
We're working with proponents on all of these projects to minimise any impact on matters of national environmental significance, and that would include land clearing where it's necessary. But it's interesting that the Leader of the Opposition, the Leader of the Nationals, is only interested in land clearing when it comes to renewable energy projects. He's not interested in land clearing if it's a mining project. He's not interested in land clearing if it's a housing project. And he's not interested in land clearing when it's the Shadow Treasurer poisoning grasslands with his companies. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I mean, native vegetation does include rare grasslands.
Just pause a moment. To assist the House, I've asked the Minister to withdraw.
To pay respect to you, Mr. Speaker, I do that. I withdraw. Mr. Speaker, I've got a great quote here from the Leader of the National Party about clearing.
Minister reading from confidential documents.
It's a confidential document, Mr. Speaker, but there are some elements that I would like to share with the Chamber, if that's okay. One of them is,
Order.
in fact,
The Leader of the Opposition. No. The Leader of the Opposition, members on my left, are going to remain silent. The Leader of the Opposition will cease interjecting.
One of them is a quote from the member for New England. We've made massive investments in the New England into renewable energy. I made sure it happened. Another is from the member for Maranoa. We actually want Maranoa to become the renewable energy electorate. Western Downs Shire is screaming at me to become the renewable energy shire of the country with solar and wind. We've got another one from the member for Farrer. I'm so proud that the biggest renewable energy producer is right here in Yenta. Mr. Speaker.
Order. The Leader of the Nationals will cease interjecting. The Minister's just got to return to the question.
Mr. Speaker, each one of these projects required some land clearing. And of course, if the projects are good projects, then they go ahead. That's how we make decisions.